Gdańsk, the former Danzig. Have a look here. There's such that behind me the Golden Gate, and we walking the pedestrian zone about 50 minutes. Okay, but look at this, the mass magic moment. The Golden Gate behind me, Gdańsk. I tell you why the name Gdańsk. Where was born the constructor of the first thermometer in the world. You see the print of the dog in one of the brick stones, and much more. See, please follow the Tom Guide Kraków channel. Look at this. It's the 4 p.m. In Gdańsk is the sunset earlier. You got a little darkness earlier than in Kraków. We are 700 kilometers north of Kraków, Hanseatic city of Gdańsk, former Danzig. Have a look. Hello, hello, Jessica. Does it such that everything in English? I explain you everything. Look at this, the most beautiful street, the pedestrian zone Długa, the long street. Round the corner is the clothmaker street with Arsenal, and flapped ear bear is the just among the souvenirs. I have to show you the such bear. Look at this, the most beautiful. Gdańsk is over 1,000 years old. I tell you more details on the way, but have a look. Here is the famous flapped ear bear. That's why with that bear I started as the logo of our tour. The form. Clothmaker Street and Long Street. We walking to the crane. Then we see Motla River, Motława, the Deaf Vistula. Then we see the most beautiful street, so-called Amber Gold Street. Beer Street even. I tell you what is the most famous beer from Gdańsk. And I show even how the clever Jews escaped the Holocaust from Gdańsk. There is the untypical history of the good trick of Jews from Danzig, that they bought their own freedom, similar like in Denmark. In Denmark, also Jews, they escaped to Scandinavia, to Sweden, and escaped. But look at this, the mass magic moment, 4 p.m. Hanseatic city of Gdańsk, the biggest harbor in this medieval Europe. Gdańsk had the second position with the number of citizens in the matter of the cities. London, in medieval London, had the 100,000 citizens, Paris 10,000 citizens, and Gdańsk 35,000. 35,000. And there was the mix. We say Gdańsk is the mix because we say also in German Danzig. I tell you only statistic before Second World War. There were 67% of Lutherans, 39% of Catholics, and 3% Jews, and also Kashubians. But in the matter of religion, that was such a statistic, and over 90% of citizens were German-speaking. And during the Third Reich, there was the free city of Gdańsk, but the majority were Germans. And you see also Hanseatic style, because Gdańsk was the member of Hansa. I tell you everything from mind, of course. There could be any mistake, please say. You know, the Hansa was the defense and military union among the German cities along the North Sea and Baltic Sea. And Gdańsk paid very high tax to get such membership. Have a look here. Is even Starbucks, but look at this at the crowns of the houses. There's the Hanseatic style Hansa, that the style from the North Sea and Baltic Sea countries. And as I said, now 500,000 people in Gdańsk is still the biggest harbor at the Baltic Sea and one of the biggest in Europe. Gdańsk got the law from Lübeck. But Lübeck is about the 220,000 citizens, Gdańsk 500,000. And Gdańsk is the bigger than Warsaw. That is the biggest funny thing. because Warsaw got the less space than Gdańsk. Gdańsk is now 680 square kilometers because they are territorial waters. That's why it's the bigger than Warsaw. Gdańsk is now the moment the biggest city in Poland with the matter of space. But in walking direction, the town hall tower. That is the first part that we are not in the hurry. Of course, during the Second World War, beginning of war didn't destroy the Gdańsk as much. Of course, Schleswig-Holstein started. There's such the shooting of the Westerplatte, but as such at the end of war there were flood bombing of Gdańsk and Danzig, and the local citizens have to escape through the Baltic Sea. There was the famous, like a Titanic, the accident of Gustloff. The 10,000 Danzig citizens, Germans, escaping, and the ship sank. Długa Street, the most beautiful street, main pedestrian part of Gdańsk. Sweet factory around me, and look at this. That is such every hour is the signal from the clock. And then look at this here. We will go closer later. There is the highest and the biggest brick stone church in Europe, and with highest tower 82 meters. You could climb there up for the 20 zlotys. Over 400 steps is the best panoramic view from the main St. Mary Basilica. And there's the Długa Street, the name Długa. There was the old name Long Street. Long Street, we see Christmas tree, and we're getting closer. We're getting to some legends. It's hard to see, but you see some stony faces of boys. The first legend told about the bad mother and 7 sons. They escaped from mother, and they petrified on the facades. That's why there's such the first legend. But I tell you much more interesting legend coming closer to Neptune, the main center of old town of Gdańsk. We say not Starówka, but the old town, Stare Miasto, or the main city. Yes, Danzig, yes. There's such all the best. Hello. Guten Abend. There's the Długa Street, the long street, Lange Straße, and have a look here. Is the coat of arms of Gdańsk, but with very untypical lions. I'm climbing up the steps for you, especially. Look at this. We got just most beautiful overview on street. After work is guy walking with balloons. Today is the alert with the wind. That's why it could be a little windy. Please share information about your friends, because everything could happen. We started from the Golden Gate there, and we're walking to Green Gate. And on the way, we see coat of arms of Gdańsk, but look at this, something is untypical. The one lion is looking not to the coat of arms, but the one on the left looking direction the Golden Gate. Why? That was according tradition, they should visit the place, the Maria Cecilia Gonzaga de Nevers, you know, that wife, that Polish queen, was married twice with one brother, and after brother died with second brother, with John Casimir and Vladislav IV, and she should stay over there. That's why Lion. That's why other name of that street is the Royal Route, and. Then I look at this, the tourists, they're looking, what is this? There's the old measurement, the typical for each city in Europe. In England was the other measurement, but you see such like a one elbow, that is the other, that is like a foot elbow, and fathom. Fathom is like, you know, if you spread your hands, you got the such 180 centimeters about. That is such typical, but you see, you know, competition among merchants. There's such beautiful models. There's model of the town hall of Gdańsk, Danzig, Gdańsk is the name, Slavic name, but the Germans turned that name Gdańsk as the swampy, wet land to Danzig. That's why the original is Slavic. And here is the Artus Hof, we say, the club from the merchants, rich tycoons. They got their own here. They testing excellent beer and other specialties here in tavern below. But this Artus Hof, and look at this. He walking is the central point, the symbol of Gdańsk, naked Neptune with trident. Neptune with trident. That is now, I tell you, the most famous legend number 2. That is the Gdańsk citizens were so rich, they even smashing here golden coins into the pond, into the fountain. Fountain is in the summer in the service, and they clogged the fountain. And Neptune, they took the trident and splitting the coins into flakes, golden flakes. That's why the most famous vodka is from Gdańsk, Danziger Goldwasser. We see the where you could buy, but about the 38% Danziger Goldwasser I show. Look at this, no snow. I've heard snow Poland, South Poland is under snow. But here, look at this, even I don't need the gloves even. Temperature plus 40 degrees, but the Fahrenheit. I tell you where is exactly thermometer of person who was born here, Fahrenheit, but it's the plus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It's mean about the plus 6 degrees Celsius. But the Fahrenheit is from here. He was the first 15 years in Gdańsk. You got such global informations. Yeah, that is from Holger. And that is the, but it was very hard night. I was traveling by train whole night, about 8 hours. Not Pendolino, but a classical intercity train over Częstochowa. That's why I'm little, you know, I was the sleeplessness and problems. But it's the worth. You see now, if you share the information about live stream, I'm happy that more people want to see the magic Gdańsk, magic Danzig. And let's go to the place that I show you where was the born Gabriel Fahrenheit, German, we say meteorologist, but they're also scientists. Look at this, each house had such special steps up, so-called stoops, in Gdańsk. And houses, they've got, of course, decoration with the such mermaids. Office like a grief. Look at this over there. That is the masterpiece. And 98% Gdańsk was bombed. The city center also, especially, that's why everything was rebuilt. Artus Club, Artus House, the best meeting for the Freemasons, of course, and tycoons, rich people, because Gdańsk had the contact with over 400 different places around the world. Gdańsk was created by Germans, Poles, Kashubians, and Dutch people. Dutch. Fahrenheit was, for instance, the second part of life spent in Holland. That is the Netherlands. That's why Netherlandish. That's why there's a such mix of culture. And look at this. Here is the thermometer. It's exactly the copy of the thermometer and barometer of Gabriel Fahrenheit. He was born exactly in Ogarna Street. We see is the Dog Street. I tell you why the Dog Street there. But then you could notice the temperature in one moment. That is the such now. The moment, as I said, is the plus 40 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's about the plus 6 Celsius. There's a such form in that part. And we are walking later. We are taking full loop. I coming back to place that Fahrenheit was born. Hard Rock Cafe like in Krakow there too. But look at this, at the most magic moment. I told you the two legends just about the Neptune and Danziger Goldwasser. What is this? And Gdańsk now is the capital of the voivodeship Pomerania, Pomern. And there's like a tri-city. Gdańsk, the 500,000 citizens, Sopot about the 30,000, and Gdynia about the 200,000. But altogether they're making like a 800,000 tri-city. Connected, excellent with train also. And we're walking to Green Gate. And look at this fish and chips, classical. There's the big gain of Scandinavians. You know, they came with ferry from Stockholm for the party at the weekend. Very busy. Now is the time before the New Year's Eve, and everything is going on. And of course, a lot of amber. But now we've got our own amber mines in Lublin, in territory of continent, not only from the Baltic Sea, but you see huge amount of amber. There's a richness of amber. We are at the Baltic Sea, of course. Yes, and then I want to show you something very special, untypical. Always be looking something like a snooping, yes, Bernstein, snooping tour. We're getting to the Powroźnicza Street. There was the former ropes for the ships were made here. The rope maker and was here. I've heard the music that could be any license. I got trouble with the live stream there. Okay, but that's what to do. And street, the dogs running here every day, and the bricklayers, they put the brick just without any supervision, and the one dog print their own foot on the brick. Look at this. There's the old, like a lapidary, they're showing the old bricks. But have a look here. Just next to the car is the print of the dog. Oh, have a look. You see there, over there? Oh, just over there is the dog printed their own foot. You see, there is the very, very special. Now is the beautiful hotel Radisson Blu around here. Look at this, how luxurious film. I don't stay here, but it's my dream to stay Radisson Blu hotel, and such footprint of the dog. That is the, okay, we're going out because they're everywhere cameras. Yes, but then we got in the most magic, I think, passage. That is the, like a dogs running here out of the Ogarna. Today was the here Motława River, and didn't find nothing, didn't anybody. Have a look. Oh, now no comment. Look at this. Now we got the Motlau, about the 6 kilometer long, but the Deaf River, Deaf Wisła, joining Motława, and they're all together. They're creating very unique flair. Okay, I think we could go through. Yes, there's the. What about the such view? Gdańsk, and you could take the deep breath. It's very healthy. No snow. South Poland under snow. Here is the snowless. Thank you, Jessica. There's the thank you. €1.49. Big thanks. Big thanks for donations. There's the tavern. But we see not busy like in Krakow. In Krakow, we got a nightlife very busy. They serving in żołądkowa, the good for stomach. So for foreign visitors, of course, because the Gdańsk, the airport, international airport. And in one moment you got there, we walking to the most famous view, the Green Gate. Look at this. We have to see the Green Gate and the. Oh, that is the most famous view, like from the postcard. 3, 2, 1. Take a screenshot if you like. And through the Green Gate, we're turning left to the famous crane. And I tell you what for was used the crane. And here is also harbor for the ships that going to Westerplatte. You see the little Gdańsk eye. And the matter of the symbol of Gdańsk, the Danzig Goldwasser. We say there are four best things from Poland. Danziger Goldwasser, Toruń gingerbread, Warsaw shoes, and Krakow sausage, Krakauer Wurst. And as in one moment I show the Goldwasser. That is the shop. Everywhere, Bernstein, amber. You see, there is the pearl of the sea, or the diamond of the sea called, and the shops are diving in the amber. But here you see the Goldwasser. Yes, they serving here. There was the house. That is, you see, but the name is not so very visible. Gdańsk Danzig Goldwasser, czyli gold water. Oh, look at this, the gala. You take such tree for about the 70s. We are lucky, look at this, we're coming closer. Just the galar. Going to the pier, and trip costs now 70 zlotys. If you want go to Hela, Hela to Hell is the 170 zlotys return ticket. But then such a traditional gallery is the 4 times a day at 11 o'clock, 1 p.m., 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Now is the last trip. Look at this. The people that are packed inside because the outside is the cold. But I think it's the nice adventure to take the such Czarna. The name is the Czarna Perła, the black pearl, and it's the tradition like from Caribbean, Pirates of Caribbean. But you could get that such trip to Westerplatte, place of the defending Gdańsk by the Polish soldiers at the beginning of second, very brave defending. You see the all details because it seems a little bit not narrow, but that is such a beautiful trip from the pier to Westerplatte. I see there's the next people there, such and some participants want to join such tour. About the 20, maybe tomorrow, as we see. Gdańsk had the 50 towers and 27 gates. That is the next gate, so-called Chlebowa. That is such the bread gate. And that was the bread market behind. And now we're getting, in my opinion, the most beautiful. The 99% of street was the bombed, and I showed the oldest house. The one house survived the bombing, and there's the Mariacka Street, but they should other name as the Amber Street because everywhere you see amber selling the beautiful amber waters. That's why we walking down Mariacka, most quiet street. They were here the richest Gdańsk citizens. And I showed the house, that one that survived bombing. Survived the whole bombing. And that is the place of Kashuby. We say Kashubian, that is like a